I've just seen The Long Walk at the cinema. I'm not going to walk halfway through this video. No chance in hell of that. Because this film has mentally drained me. That's all I can say. This film, The Long Walk, it's exhausting because the emotions you go through in this movie, by the time you get to the end of it, you might as well have walked the whole thing with them. So The Long Walk is a movie based on a book by Stephen King. I think he did it under his pseudonym of Batman, the Batman books. He gets me in this movie. He got me to the point of like a tear rolling down my eye. That's what this film did. Now, it's a film about set in the future when there's been some sort of war in America, and the government are now doing this like game where every year they'll get a group of people. They kind of winning the lottery, so they'll just announce random people out the phone book, I guess. And those people, if they choose to do it, will take part in The Long Walk, which is essentially like a show, I suppose. It's being filmed, where they'll just continue to walk until there's only one left. So I think they said it's like one from every state or something. And you can say no to it, just not turn up. But a lot of people turn up because the prize is a shed ton of money and one specific wish. So you get one wish, and then they grant that wish for you. No matter what it is, they'll do it. So a lot of people turn up to this thing. Now you might think, oh, it's just a walk. Doesn't matter. It matters, because if you basically have to walk for 3 miles an hour continuously, if you slow down under 3 miles an hour, you get a warning. You actually end up getting, if you get 3 warnings, you get shot and killed. Now, if you get 1 warning and you walk for another hour, that warning gets cleared off. But if you then walk for, if you get 2 warnings, walk for 2 hours, it gets cleared off. 3 warnings, 3 hours, it gets cleared off. If you go over the 3 warnings, they'll shoot you and kill you. That's the walk. So you start off with, like, say, 50 people. I can't remember how many they start with. They start with like 50 odd people, and they start walking. And again, if you slow down, if you try and run away, they shoot you as well. And there is no stopping on this walk. It is a continuous walk until there's one left. It's not like there's a finish line. It's not like there's an end. You just walk until everyone is dead. And they start you off in, it's like in the remote countryside of America. And you've got like a military escort taking you down, like walking with you. So there's like a big armored truck and that. And it's all being run by a guy called the Major, who's played by Mark Hamill, who is like, he's kind of like coaching you on. He obviously runs this Long Walk game, and he's coaching you on at the same time as sort of being in control of it and killing the people, or ordering the people to kill the people that are stopping or slowing. And also, if you run away from the thing, you get killed as well. Now, when I say you walk continuously, I mean continuously, as in like you do not stop to eat, you do not stop to sleep, you do not stop to go to the toilet. You do all that as you're going. In fact, there's parts in this film where you actually see them, like one of the guys, he undoes his trousers, turns around and walks and pees at the same time to go to the toilet. And then there's a scene that, right, so this is going to be a spoiler video, okay? So I will talk not about the whole movie, but we'll talk about bits of the movie that affected me as we go along. Because this movie affected me. So, spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, go off and watch the movie and come back. Or if you don't care about spoilers, stay here and then watch it whenever you wish to later. And also, if you've watched the film already and you listen to what I say now, please comment below. That'll be brilliant. So anyway, so yeah, so even if you go into the toilet, there's one guy that gets like diarrhea basically, and he keeps going to the toilet, he keeps putting his trousers in, you keep seeing, you see it, it's quite graphic, it's a graphic movie, you see the come out and that as he's walking, he pulls his trousers out, he goes walking, then he stops again, does it again, and he stops too many times and they shoot him and kill him. And it's horrific. Like the first guy you see die, and they start you off hard. This movie starts you off with a nasty one, because the first guy you see die is a young kid. He says he's 18, but everyone says he looks about 16. And he basically gets cramp. And our heroes in the film are trying to get him to keep walking. Only the cramp gets so bad, he actually stops and they shoot and kill him. And like a lot of films nowadays, you get a shot to the head, you get the boom, but they don't show it. They sort of cut away and you see the guy fall to the floor. this film shows it. This film is graphic. There's some real graphic scenes in this film, and that's just one of them. So it actually shows you. So essentially, it's following this one character, and you see him turn up with his mum. His mum doesn't want him to do the walk. She's like, no, we can stop. But he's like, no, it's too late now. Yesterday was the cut-off day. I have to go now. And she's like, no, you don't have to. Let's not do it. Let's not do it. And he's like, no, I have to do this because he's got an alternate motive to do with his wish. And you find that later on in the movie. He becomes quite good friends with a little group of them, sort of like bond together. And that's another thing. So I thought this movie would be kind of Hunger Games, where they're all trying to undercut each other and stab each other in the back, trying to kill each other, you know, that sort of thing, because they're all, you want to have one winner, so everyone else has to die. So surely you would try and better yourself, or maybe like breaking someone's leg or something and whatever. It's not like that. Everyone helps each other. This is such a human, like a good-natured movie in a sense, where everyone's trying to work together to help each other. Well, almost everyone, but everyone like trying to work together. So you get this little band of like four of them. They call themselves the Musketeers. And you've got a sort of main guy, what would become his best. So you've got like two main characters. You've got a main guy who kind of following the most. You've got his best friend, who's played by a guy from Alien Romulus. He was the synthetic android in that, but he's got a nasty scar down his face in this film. And you've got, who else is there? There's another guy I recognise from something, but I can't remember why, a black guy, and he's very funny. He's very good as well. And then you've got the guy from the new Karate Kid Legends movie, the new Karate Kid basically. He's in it as well. And again, they're all walking down the road. Now, you'd think a film about guys walking down the road would be boring. You'd assume there'll be like flashback scenes to like stuff happen before the walk. There isn't. It's just them walking and talking. It kind of reminds me a bit of kind of like Easy Rider in a way, where it's just guys driving a motorbike most of the way. But this is literally just guys walking and talking. That's all this film is, just walking and talking. And obviously these people getting shot and killed. So there are a couple, as I said, that some of the deaths in this film are horrible. As you know, you've seen the film as well, like some of the sort of honourable mention deaths in it. There's a guy that tries to sort of snaps a bit and attacks the tank, and the tank runs over his legs, and then he gets killed. So that's not a nasty one. You've got another guy who's, you see him a few times walking. He sort of walks like with his foot like that. So he's sort of walking like that, and slowly the foot as he's doing this long walk. This walk goes on for like 4 or 5 days. Twists, and he's ended up walking on the heel bone, like his ankle. He's walking on his ankle, and till he can't walk him because the pain's too bad, and then he gets shot and killed because he slows down too much. I mean, it's the idea of continuously walking for days without sleep or stopping is mental. Like I can walk for miles. I'm happy to do it. I love a good walk. This is taking the mick. So it's generally endurance things. So that's all to do with like what will break first. And the thing this film does really well is what is going to break first. Is your body going to break first, or is your mind going to break first? Because exhaustion can affect the mind or the body, and both in general. But it's like what will break first. And a few times, like you get a hero sort of almost hit a wall, and they've got to push through that wall. There's a few scenes like that as well, which is quite good, especially with our main guys. A couple of times he really struggles, and it's his best friend that sort of gets him through, or his best friend in the walk. It's not his best friend before. He's only met him on this walk, but these group come together. These few people come together and become like brothers as they're walking along. It's amazing. And you get a few people trying to put fly in the ointment a little bit, but it's generally the people in the walk are generally good natures and are trying their best to finish this walk. That's just horrific. So basically you are kind of walking along with them in this movie. That's the way I felt in the movie. Like I'm walking along with these people, listening to their story, and by the time you get to the end of it, you feel like you're a part of this movie almost, like you've made it through with them. So you care about the people in this movie. You generally care by the time this movie's done, to the point where you're like, I know that I was sitting in an audience with quite a few people in the cinema, and there were people, you could see them crying in this film at this audience in the movie, and I was like, and I felt emotional by the end of it, because like you're so invested in these characters, so bonded with them, that by the time the film finishes, you are emotionally scarred. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's a very, like, some movies stay with you. This one I still keep thinking bits about it. All day I've been thinking about this movie. And it's happened before with like Stephen King adaptations. Like The Green Mile is a film that after I watched it, I kept thinking about over and over again. Like the electrocution scenes and that would stay in my mind. Shawshank Redemption is another one. A lot of scenes from that would stand out, especially when you find out Andy Dufresne's plan and what it was all along. It blows your mind. And this film did the same thing. By the time it got to the end of this film, especially at the ending of the movie, which is one of the most horrific, selfless acts I've ever seen in a movie, where you're like, like it just breaks your heart. And it's kind of like a commentary on what the world would be like. It's very Hunger Games. It turns out the director of this also directed the Hunger Games. It's that same theme of like the future and putting people against each other, and like it's kind of like a commentary on society. Like they say that the government makes people fight each other, so they'll do things to make people like go against each other. Like we've got a lot in this country at the minute with like the government like siding with certain groups of people, and it's upsetting the other groups of people, and they're sort of fighting each other, but it's really the government that to blame for it all. We've got a lot of that sort of stuff going in this country. I mean, it probably happens in all your countries, like whatever country you've probably got a similar sort of thing going on in your country. But it's like that's what this film sort of like trying to say, like this is what's going on, that the government are putting these people against each other, but the truth is like they are getting on, and that's the thing. And yeah, so like there are a lot of horrific, like when our main four, when they fall, like we're falling off a group of 4 people generally, but the main 4, once they go, you generally get upset, especially the way they go as well. Like I said, like some of the people, like it's their mind that goes, not their physical bodies. So some of them just get tired, exhausted, and just have to stop or slow down and get killed. Like there's one scene where they're going up a hill, and you hear gunshots just going off randomly because so many people are falling as they go up this hill in the dark in the night. And that's not nice. Like to know that people are dying. These people have got to keep walking. You've got to remember these people just keep walking, and then poof, they know someone else has died. And you sort of get down to your final few, and like the way they go when they start to like get personal with each other and tell each other their innermost like thoughts, it's just heartbreaking. And then when you find that there's one guy in it that all the way through has been quite hard and he's like quite athletic. He seems to know a lot about the walk and the techniques for the walk and that. And he's quite a hard guy. He ends up getting ill. And he said, like, I've never been ill, but I'm on this bloody water and now I'm getting ill. And he ends up sort of like with, like, he said he can feel the fluid on his lungs. He can feel his, like, kidneys are starting to go. Because he's got, like, the flu. And I guess it turned into hypothermia or something, I suppose. And, not hypothermia. What's the other thing? We get fluid on the lungs. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it turned into that. And he says, like, he suddenly admits to them all why he's there and what it's for. And he's going because the guy that sort of runs the whole thing, who's played by Mark Hamill, the major, who's a nasty piece of work, turns out he's his dad. He's kind of like the bastard child, and he just wants his one wish. That he did the whole thing to get his wish, because they get the money and the wish. And his wish was to have dinner with his dad for the first time ever and sit and talk to his dad. And that's what he's doing. He says, like, but then he's like, I know I can't do it anymore, so I'm going to have to stop now, but I hope you guys do well and stuff. And it's really like, wow. And there's a scene earlier on as well, it's quite emotional, where you find out that one of the guys had a wife. And no one else had a wife, just one guy had a wife. And her name was Clementine. And they all, as they're walking along, they say, look, I tell you what, whatever happens, whoever wins, we've got to make sure his wife's okay. And they all kind of make a silent deal, like, all right, if anything happens, we'll make sure she's okay. So they're all going to win the money. They're going to give this woman a load of money to help her out because her husband's dead. So there's a lot of that. And then another guy's got a necklace and he's like, gives it to his friends, says, can you please give this to my grandma, just to tell her, like, this necklace to her. So there's a lot of that, and everyone's like, yeah, sure, no worries, as they bow out. And oh my god, it's just not nice. It's really not. It's like, it's just such a sad film. It generally is a sad film, and it makes you cry. But it's a good film because you get to the end of it, and you're like, you know, the ending is horrifically sad. You kind of get that like, and you, it's one of those films where the way it ends, you kind of don't know if it's going to end there. Is there going to be a sequel? Maybe it's going to continue. I kind of don't want it. I like this to be a standalone film to leave me like, what happened to that guy at the end? Because we're going to get into massive spoilers now. We're going to talk about the end of the movie and why it broke my heart. Because the end of the movie, you end up with our 2 sort of main guys. The main guy I've been following the whole time, and the guy that's kind of supported him the whole way through, because the guy that's been with him, the guy from Alien Romulus, is the most supportive person you'd ever want in any situation. If I was in any situation ever, I'd want that guy by my side, because he did not give up on his friend. Even when his friend was like, I'll do it myself, and he sort of got a bit nasty to him because he kind of had enough and just wanted to keep going, he's still there for him. When he started to fall, he grabbed him again. And whenever he went down, he picked him back up. He's like, keep going. There's one part where he saw his mum and tried to run to his mum, was almost like that. He grabbed him, like, no, we've got to keep going, keep going. He drags him away to keep him alive. And that's what I mean. This film does that to you. And then you get to the end of the movie, and the best friend guy had already said, like, when it's my time, when I'm done, I'm just going to sit down. And they get to the end, they're both walking, they're both exhausted. They're at the, I don't even know how they're still walking. And he turns to him and he's like, okay, like, you go on, I'm going to sit. And he goes to sit down. And the main guy, a guy we've been following from the start, turns around and goes, no, he's trying to pick his friend up. He's like, no, go on. He's like, no, get up, come on. And they're doing the sort of first warning, second warning, third. So they're both on their last warning now. And he's like, come on, get up. He's like, just walk with me for a little bit longer. Stay with me for a little bit longer. He sort of holds him. He's like, just for a little bit longer. Just for a little bit longer. So the best friend guy, he's there like, okay, I'll just for a little bit longer. And our main guy's like, yeah, go on. He just lets him go. And he starts to step back. And then you hear just like, last warning. And then you get and the best friend guy turns and runs to his friend. He's like trying to hold him. And it's such an emotional moment. And he's just like, and then you get the big ending part. So basically, we found out earlier on that our main guy, the reason he is there, the sole purpose of being there, isn't the money, doesn't care about that, it's that wish. Because it turns out that the Mark Hamill character, the Major, had shot and killed his father, because his father was trying to teach his son the old ways, and talk about the old ways, and that's been banned. So they've completely like cut that off. And he's like, and he basically took him out into the street, he shot him dead in front of him and his mum. And he said what he wants that wish for is he wants to make sure, he wants to shoot the Major. He said he wants to ask for a gun. So the wish will be, I want a gun now. And they hand him a gun, and he wants to shoot the Major. So we get to the end of it, and he obviously gets shot, he gets killed, and a sort of winner is the best friend guy. And the best friend standing there, and he's originally said that he wants his wish to be that 2 people can finish the long walk from now on. And he stands there and he looks at the Major and he looks at his best friend who's dead, and he's like, I want a gun. And he's going to do the other guy's wish. There's a moment where you think he might not. So he gets the gun, he holds it against the Major. The Major's like, whoa, calm down. You've got a lot of money, you've got all this stuff. He kind of like tries to talk him out of doing it. And you think it's working at first. And so he goes, no, this is for him. And the Major falls dead. And then he sort of turns and he just walks off. And that's the end of the movie. And you're kind of like, what happened? Do the government go after him? Is he now a martyr? Do the government like punish him for it? Or because he got the wish, which is the whole point of the race, is that the walk is that you get the wish, then maybe he will be okay. But you don't never find out. You kind of left with him walking off into the distance, still walking. And what a film, because you've done this journey with them. You feel like you've been on this walk with them and you've been a part of it. And it is such a I can't say enough good about this film. But I will say though, this is a film you don't necessarily need to see in the cinema. I watched it in the cinema. I'm glad I saw it in the cinema, but you don't need to. It's not a high effects film. It's not like that. You could quite easily have the same effect sitting on your sofa, watching it on your TV, on a DVD or stream, whatever you want to do, and still get that emotion from it. I think I'm going to watch this film again, but I'm going to do it with some therapy because it's just such an emotional movie. And I said it's like films like Shawshank and like films like The Green Mile. It's up there with those films, the Stephen King films that aren't horrors, but they've got, I suppose, horror element to them, but they're not essentially horrors. And some of that stuff is best stuff, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, it is terrifying, scary horror, but Green Mile, very different movie, hits you just as hard. And I've got to be honest with you, this is a good one. This was a good one. And I'm glad I watched it, because I was a bit unsure if I should watch this in the cinema. I was like, is it a cinema film? I don't think I'm bothered to go to the cinema and watch it. I went today because it was an early show and I managed to get there during the school run. And oh my God, I'm so glad I did, because I love this movie. But that's me talking about this movie now. I think I've bigged it up enough now. But let me know what you thought of this movie. Did you think it was good? Did you like the way it ended? I bet there's an alternative ending somewhere. But did you enjoy the way it ended? I want to read the book. I've got to read this book now. So I want to know if the book is as good as this. Or if it's different. I want to know if the book's different. Let me know if you've read the book. Let me know if it's different, if it's worth to read it, or if it's the same as the film, I don't need to read it. But if it's better than the film, if it's different from the film, let me know so I know to read this book or not. And let me know what you thought of the movie. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you feel like you were part of it the way I felt like I was part of it, like on the walk with them? Did you think like it was going to be different? Well, I thought it was going to be more like a cutthroat thing, where they're all trying to get each other. But I was well wrong, very, very wrong. I'm happy I was wrong because it gave me something different. You know, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, so if you do like this video as well, please do the little like thing and subscribe for more movie reviews and such. Obviously, trailer reactions and random Halloweeny stuff as well sometimes. But please let me know what you thought of this film, because I'm really interested to know what you thought of this film, because it's such a different film and it's such a good film to me anyway. Right, guys, see you later. Bye.